Todd, let's go ahead and get right into it. The first question, which I only have one, two, three, four, five questions in total, so it's not going to take very much of your time. But the
Okay.
first question is, why did you decide to sell your property?
Um, I well, there were three reasons. Now we'll see if I can count when I give to you. What I do. Number one was I had to decide whether or not I wanted to live in Florida in general and in the Tampa Bay area in particular because I bought the property thinking to retire there. And then when I visited Florida, I enjoyed the visit. I liked it there. I liked Tampa. I didn't like the immediate area the house was in as much as I liked Tampa, but because it's in a suburb, Newport Richey up there. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I just didn't like it enough to want to actually live there. Okay, so then the choice became, well, you can hang on to it. I mean, it's a property. I have a great tenant, um, but there's maintenance. I was having a little trouble with the management company getting them to maintain the property in a way I thought it should be maintained. So that would be, kind of second reason. Well, yeah, okay. I could have changed management companies. There's other choices, right?
Right.
But I live so far away and I didn't want to have to travel there a lot to bird dog things. And then thirdly, given my current health situation, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. And during the transaction, you found out a little bit about it. But during that came up this past year or so, and I need to just simplify everything. I need to get rid of clutter in my house or in my apartment here. And part of that simplification was offloading some of these ancillary responsibilities, like dealing with trying to maintain the house properly and the management company and things like that. So the simplification was a big help.
Great, great. And yeah, definitely a couple reasons, right? Um, so the next one is, did you, and if you did, how how tough or challenging did you imagine the process would be?
Um, I I thought it would be pretty straightforward. Given, okay, I've most of my career I was a software engineer, computer programmer, but for a while I did real estate lending, and from that I wasn't a broker or have a job like yours. It was just in a lending company. They didn't do anything else, and
Yeah.
and I remember from that things can get pretty hairy, and sometimes sellers. I as a seller knew what I was going to be like, but if you get into a situation where somebody needs to apply for a sizable loan to buy a house, sometimes those borrowers can also be kind of recalcitrant and a problem. Uh, and so you came up with a quick cash offer. I knew, given the nature of your initial contact with me, what you're about, what you guys do,
Hmm.
and so I expected it to be, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. It was actually pretty good as it happened, as it turned out. You remember we did face a little bit of recalcitrance between, a third party that kind of tried to interject itself. But both you and the title person came up with some good suggestions on how to deal with that. So it cost us a few days. I know you probably really, really wanted to close before the end of July. That was probably something you really wanted to do. And that didn't quite happen because of this. But it was only it was like a 2 or 3 day hitch, and so you got an early August close. I mean, you got that right.
Absolutely, yeah, yes sir, yes sir. And actually, that was one of my questions. Did we close on time?
Yeah, for me, um, it wasn't as important as I thought it was for you. I was happy if it had gone another week. I wouldn't have been displeased. But it was starting to drag on. It wasn't the time factor as much as the hassle that these other people did create. Um, but anyway, that's water under the bridge. So
I hear you, yes sir, yes sir. And the next one is, do you feel that we solved your problem?
yes, I would like to say there. I would like to bring this up. I don't know if I mean. I guess these questions may be kind of boilerplate for you. I'm sure I'm not unique in the history of real estate transactions in this, but I would like to say, and I will ask you, and if you come up with a number less than a dozen, I will accuse you of not listening. Okay. How many times did I say I want the tenant taken care of while we were? I
I
mean, you
think
get
that
my
was
point, right?
yeah, that was the first thing we talked about
And
in
that
our
happened.
first contact.
That happened. I mean, that made me really, really happy.
Yes, sir. So, what about us taking care of the tenant? Did you like best?
Uh, that that she could stay in the house. I knew. I mean, we had other ideas about taking care of her, but I knew she really, really liked it there and wanted to stay there, and that happened. I know both you and I discussed that at the beginning. We both knew, depending on a lot of things, whether or not that could happen. But it did work out that way. So, it's like you hear about win win, but this was win win win, right? I won, you won, she won. So
Absolutely, great point. And the last one is, would you recommend us?
I would. Problem is, I don't know anyone who's trying to sell a house now. But I would if I knew someone in. I mean, if I knew someone here. I mean, you guys don't operate here, but if I knew, somebody who was in the, your geographic purview, I definitely would. Yeah.
Well, actually, we do operate in Hawaii. It's
Okay.
definitely one of the markets that we're working to get into and put some boots on the ground, if you will. So yeah, if down the line you have someone that may be interested, absolutely feel free to refer us to them. And if we're not able to handle them, we will make sure that we find someone that can help them.
Okay. Great. Yeah, it's good to know.
Absolutely. Well, Todd, thank you so much for taking this call. And I know that in Hawaii, it's pretty early. What time is it there?
Yeah, it's 7:13. I mean, I
Okay,
usually
so
get up at 5:30 at the latest. So, wasn't, not a big deal to call. Well, good luck to
great,
you,
great.
and I hope you continue to, help out other buyers and sellers.